All right. So Raw was actually decent this time. Surprisingly, by the title, you probably clicked on the video and you saw a decent episode of Raw. I'm going to also be talking about ruthless aggression and matches for Money in the Bank, while also discussing about, cannot forget about, Diamond Mine. A match set for Great American Bash. So, this is Raw NXT reviews, and surprisingly, Raw did decent. I don't know why. I feel like when it comes to Money in the Bank, it becomes decent. It really becomes decent. I don't know if that's like the case, but during Money in the Bank, they always kind of make decent. But yeah, Raw was actually decent. Now, to be completely honest, I did sleep through like hour and a half of Raw. So after Randy Orton and John Morrison went to commercial, that's why I knocked myself out. So I did get to watch the other videos on YouTube, obviously. But I did get to see some other good things. So if you did not check out one of my videos, I did talk about how WWE should really do like a template. I made a template for Raw, how it should be. Obviously giving Kofi his WWE Championship match. Well, WWE did just that. In the beginning, we got Bobby Lashley coming out with MVP in the MVP or VIP lounge, right? And they're talking about Drew, how Drew will never get an opportunity again, how he'll never be able to face for the championship. And well, that's when the New Day came out, as MVP was going to toast Bobby Lashley in his celebration of winning or retaining the WWE title. So the New Day came out and toasted them. So you can say that MVP and Bobby Lashley got toasted. More fun, surprising stuff on Raw happened, but that was the opener for Raw. But we still had another ways to go. Kofi talked about obviously being a former champion in his own right, and how he's now forgotten about defeating, Bobby Lashley on an episode of Raw, thanks to Drew's help. So they wanted a match. I don't know if it's a botch guy. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Bobby Lashley jumped straight to conclusion of saying, "Yeah, I agree. I want a match." But for the title. But then MVP did not, he didn't consult about that. So no, But this is Bobby taking matters into his own hands. Then Bobby was like, I'm gonna have a match tonight, or I'm gonna have a match at Money in the Bank. He's not gonna have a match tonight. He wants it tonight. And he was like, oh yeah, tonight. So maybe a little error there, but anyway, it was a great opener. So we got a Hell in a Cell match on Raw, and the reason for this is because what happened is that NBC and Universal holds obviously the pay-per-views on their streamings for Peacock. Well, Fox took it upon themselves to put their Hell in a Cell, or one of their big Hell in a Cell matches, for that, just for that, when they could have had it at Hell in a Cell. So to take it off of the card of Hell in a Cell, NBC is not proud of Fox, and the USA Network was pissed when they did the Hell in a Cell as well. So since we got Hell in a Cells, we might as well just put in Hell in a Cell match for USA. Okay, cool. Not a big, it's just kind of a big marketing, error. But we still got some great matches set for Raw. And that's surprising how much I've shitted on Raw, how much other people have shitted on Raw. Well, this is the actual time, and it's the first time, which seems like in forever, Raw was pretty decent. So after we got to that, after Xavier Woods went on about the up, up, down, down channel and how he has become successful, he has other attributes too. He's going to face Bobby Lashley and himself in the main event. Perfect. We got a qualifying match next, which followed with AJ Styles versus Ricochet. And let me tell you, AJ and Ricochet fall in the line of those who have chemistry. So those of Charlotte and Asuka, those of Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. It's just these two men have chemistry with each other. It's so freaking good. Like they put on a phenomenal performance. But I'm here not to talk about the match, but I'm here to talk about who won. Surprisingly, I thought AJ Styles had this in the bag. Almas is going to help him get the win. I thought it was the case, but no. WWE decided to go Ricochet. Because what happens, the Viking Raiders came out and they decided to neutralize Almas. Or Omos. So Omos went, try fighting off both of them. Omos went crashing into the barricade, which distracted AJ Styles. AJ Styles hit Ricochet as he was trying to go for the phenomenal forearm. Ricochet hit him with a one-legged face breaker, or what I call a jackknife face breaker. Because jackknife, jump in the pool, holding one leg. So Ricochet 1, 2, 3, and this match was golden. It was great. Great performance from both wrestlers. Was able to, keep my eyes entertained while also having, my eyes glued to the phone. After this, though, followed was probably not the best, because we followed with was the match of the tag in the women's division, the tag team. Naomi and Asuka versus Eva Marie and her friend Doudrop. I'm not calling her that. Just want to make that very clear. I'm not calling someone Doudrop. I'll call her Piper Nivens or Da Bomb, or if you want me, actually, I call it the Drop. But we should really drop that name, if you know what I mean. Doudrop is just. I even asked on Twitter. You can even see my post on Twitter if you at Logical Predictor with no O. You can go see. I asked Vince McMahon, how did you or any of your writings / executive committee come up with Doudrop? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, to really talk about this match, Asuka and Naomi won after Eva Marie was trying to get a little tag in from Doudrop, but Doudrop did not like the name, and he obviously had, Doudrop. Like, it was just one of those things. They had a backstage interview of revealing the name, and Piper Niven was ready to say Piper Niven, but she got called Doudrop. It's stupid. So Doudrop, Piper Nivens hopped off of the ring post, not getting a tag in, not wanting a part of the match anymore. Eva Marie got rolled up by Naomi. 1, 2, 3. Naomi and Asuka are now in the Money in the Bank ladder match. This was Money in the Bank qualifying match. What followed next was the third match. Randy Orton versus John Morrison. And this match was pretty great too. There was one thing I saw from this match when I was watching the replay, or watching, a little bit of this, was Miz's perfect precision on his aiming with the Johnny Drip stick. Or the Johnny Drip stick. But that sounds corny. So Miz used the drip stick with perfect precision and squirted Randy Orton in the eye. Riddle obviously came out, was chasing friggin' the Miz in his wheelchair. Or freaking just, they're distracting Randy Orton, especially a legend in his own right. And John Morrison hit Starship Pain. 1, 2, 3. John Morrison now in. I was going to say still. He's not a champion. He is now in the Money in the Bank ladder match, which is surprising, of course, because Randy was not too happy about what Riddle did. I wouldn't be either. We had another qualifying match in the form of a tag team. I don't know why WWE's like, well, why can't you just give the women an opportunity? Like, why? Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that? Can we just do that, please? Can we do that? But I also have to talk about one segment that did happen before I get onto that other tag team match. But still speak on the women, like, just give them a chance. You could have done Nikki Cross versus, you could have done, who knows, you could have done Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax qualifying match, and then did, like, Nikki, or, yeah, Nikki Cross, I don't know. You could have done another women's match with Nikki Cross. You could have done Nikki Cross versus someone. Nikki Cross qualifies. Okay, cool. But no, you're doing the former tag team. That's stupid. Anyway, the part I wanted to talk about was a match we got set for Money in the Bank, which was a rematch. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. But WWE failed to provide any stipulation because of what happened last time. As Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley in her own right, obviously, she took him in her own hands to, I guess, take the board on the announce table and smack Charlotte with it. But how many times have we seen, and I've said this before, I said this in the results of Tell and Sell, you can go check that out. Everybody has hit somebody on that little board and no disqualification came. So Rhea Ripley grabbing the board and hitting Charlotte with it, oh, that's disqualification. But when Randy Orton picks up a freaking human and literally picks him up and drops him on it, that's not disqualification. I guess the rule of disqualification is just one-sided, I guess. One side is disqualification, the other side, and it's all right? But you've seen many people go through that board as well, and no disqualification came. Bogus. Bogus says, now if she used a chair, obviously it would have made sense. Would have made sense. Should have used a chair. Or the championship. Hell, if you used the championship, that would have made it more sense. That would have made more sense to me. But that match at Hell in a Cell made no sense. To have a rematch for it, I guess they really want to have Charlotte win and maybe have Charlotte versus Becky at SummerSlam. It's a possibility. I don't know. But on to the tag team match. Before we got the tag team match, we saw a superhero born. A butterfly of positivity, Miss Nikki Cross, or as I, in the WWE Universe, may want to call her, Super Nikki, which I do love. It's a positive energy. You know, it's the positive energy that people have. That's what we need in this world. We need a bunch of positivity. So, Nikki Cross can spread that positivity around. I love Nikki Cross, and I love this little gimmick. For anybody who says that this gimmick sucks, it doesn't. It's cool. We've seen people who've done this before. We got the Hurricane. Molly Holly did it. I think Tori Wilson, maybe. Not sure if that's true, but I think Tori Wilson did have a cape one time. Remember seeing like a picture or something. But again, Hurricane actually shared his thoughts on this matter too. And I'm gonna be honest, I like it. I like the gimmick of Nikki Cross. I mean, it's giving her something to do, spread some positivity. Super Nikki, and she even said it on Raw Talk too. Super Nikki, I like it. You know, give it a try. You know what I mean? If it's not your taste, if it's not your, I guess what my cousin says, cup of tea, you don't have to like it. Okay, but that's what it's gonna be from now on, I guess. So I'd say get used to it. You don't have to like it. Get used to it. But I like Super Nikki. I do. She is a ray of positivity. And speaking of that positivity, it really felt when we got another tag team match. Her teaming up with Twisted Bliss against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. This match was alright, except for the part where Reginald almost slapped Nia Jax. But Shayna Baszler got rolled up by Nikki Cross, and honestly, there was just a bunch of roll-ups in this. And that's how, like, obviously, what culture? You're right. the roll-ups, the surprise roll-ups, is the most devastating move of all sports entertainment. It really is. The surprise roll-up is the most devastating move of all sports entertainment because it's used constantly. It was used 3 times on Raw. It was used. Make sure that was right. Yes, it was used during Asuka and Naomi. Naomi rolled up Eva Marie. It was used in the Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax. And speaking of another roll up, well, we can get to that match. Obviously, again, Nikki Cross rolled up Shayna Baszler, 1, 2, 3, done, over with. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss are now in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and I'd be pretty scared too about what could happen in this match, especially with Alexa Bliss in it. But the next match that followed was Riddle versus Drew McIntyre. And oh my God, WWE, thank you. Because this is something that you don't get to see usually. Remember when we did Riddle versus Randy Orton? Remember when they did that? Yeah, that was awesome. So now seeing Riddle versus Drew McIntyre, again, that's what I like to see. That's what I think the universe wants to see. They want to see two people you would never think go up against each other, put them together, see what they can do. They brought everything to the table. I loved it. If you loved it, tell me. Comment down below. But Riddle picked up the win. Riddle did another surprise roll-up when Drew McIntyre was going to go for a Alabama Slam, inverted Alabama Slam. As he was going for it, Riddle hopped up, did a surprise roll-up, 1, 2, 3. Riddle moves on to the Money in the Bank. And Raw still has one more position to fill, and that's what we're going to get next week, because we're going to get a last chance for the qualifying in the Money in the Bank when Money in the Bank is literally in 4 weeks. But okay, WWE, I hear you out. So who's going to win this? Well, we have a bunch of people, and looking at it, we have Riddle, we have Ricochet, we have John Morrison. So who's going to win this triple threat match, or who's in the triple threat match? Well, last chance. The 3 superstars who lost, the legends, or well, the top guys. Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and AJ Styles will be in a triple threat match to see who gets the last position in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And I already know your answer. If you guys think it is Drew McIntyre, you are probably wrong. If you think it is AJ Styles, you are definitely wrong. If you think it is Randy Orton, you're likely right. The reason I say you're potentially wrong on Drew is because there is a chance that maybe, just maybe, Jinder Mahal may just get involved. He might cost Drew McIntyre that chance, and I would love to see them feud for the summer. 3 MB members having chemistry, bringing up their old days, and now fighting in the ring. Both 2 superstars that we've seen fought at Super Spectacular. I don't know how to say it. That pay-per-view, or that little show, kind of like Super Showdown, but was in India. Still liked it. It was pretty good. And it's not AJ Styles because we already seen what happened in his first match against Ricochet. The Viking Raiders. So they're going to have their Raw Tag Team Championship. They're going to have their Raw Tag Team Championship match. Drew McIntyre is likely going to feud with Jinder Mahal. That leaving Randy Orton, the only person who has nothing to do, Randy Orton, will be the last man in the Money in the Bank, especially with Riddle. And remember what Randy said. Randy did say that, just don't get in my way, Riddle. Simple. Just don't get in my way. So yeah, that's what I predict. I think Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre will win this match. It makes clear sense. It really does. But we need to implement Randy Orton in this match. We can move on to the main event. The match I did not get to see, but still here. Now, on Twitter, WWE said that it will be Austin Creed, aka Xavier Woods, versus Bobby Lashley, and if the New Day member, Xavier Woods, wins, Kofi will get his title match, which is wrong because WWE already announced that Kofi will face Bobby Lashley, and you wouldn't think that someone would pick on that. Well, I picked up on that because I was on Twitter. Many wrestling community people on Twitter. I'm on Twitter usually from 8 to 10. Obviously, I was pretty tired of watching Hell in a Cell, because I stayed up all the way till 12 to do the reviews. So you would think I'd be able to stay up longer. Well, no. I get tired usually. I did not get to see this match, but I did watch it on YouTube, and I liked it. There was a bunch of things in here. Xavier Woods put out all the stats, put out all of the great things. I guarantee Xavier Woods should get a push. And seeing that this could actually be a foreshadow. This could foreshadow the future because towards the end of the match, oh, just by the way, Bobby Lashley did win, putting in the Hurt Lock after spearing Xavier Woods, of course, but putting in the Hurt Lock, and yep, that's it. But after that, MVP came in and locked the Hell in a Cell door so Kofi couldn't get in. Kofi had to watch his friend be pummeled, injured, and put in the Hurt Lock by Bobby Lashley. And this could set up, and I said this foreshadow the ending of the New Day because Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods could turn, or Kofi could turn on Xavier Woods, making Kofi officially a heel. And yes, I say officially because in the WWE, Rey Mysterio and Kofi Kingston were the two people who have not been heel in the WWE. And the only time Kofi was really considered a heel was when he was with the New Day and they had their heel turn. So, to really sum it up, he's been a face, and people, even when they were heels, people got behind them. So therefore, Kofi wasn't really an actual heel. But now you can make him a heel legitimately. Rey Mysterio will probably be, if I did not miss anybody else who did not turn heel. If I did, comment down below who else was a heel, because I only know Rey Mysterio. Of course, remember I became a fan of WWE in 2012, but I did watch some old wrestling. Obviously Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, even back in the Attitude Era. But this match, this Hell in a Cell match, was so great, and I still think that Xavier Woods could get a push after we're done with the New Day. After Kofi turns on New Day, that could still happen, or maybe not, because Kofi did say many a times that if it was not for the positive energy from Woods and Big E, he wouldn't be WWE champion. He wouldn't be where he is today. So I don't know. I do like it, and I still think that WWE got a long way. We got a long way to go. Got a long way to go if we're going to get to the New breaking up and Xavier Woods getting a push. Now, I did forget to mention a little segment in the back, which made no sense. I guess next week we're also going to have a strap match. So, between Jackson Rikers and Elias. And, well, I don't know how that match is going to go. Then we had Monsoon taking advice, a little tag team advice. So maybe we could see Monsoon team up with Ali, or Ali being a manager. All I know is that if Monsoon is getting a push for if he's getting a push, then he's going to go for the United States Championship. And we're going to see Ali be his first actual feud. But again, it's advice taking. I don't know. Ali could be making Monsoon a heel, but I doubt that could be the case because, of course, he needs to take on Sheamus and beat Sheamus if that's ever going to occur. Don't know where Alberto's career was. Don't know where the hell Damian Priest was. So we really need to. Don't know where Jeff Hardy, Cedric Alexander, or Shelton Benjamin were. So what in the fuck are you doing, WWE? You need to bring them. You need to bring the men back, especially Damian Priest. Where the hell he been? Like, after you did Damian Priest versus The Miz, I got thinking, before I even, I was thinking, maybe Damian Priest could win the Money in the Bank ladder match. But then I was like, because then, obviously, that would be absurd but yet still made sense. It would still make sense, All I do know is that Money in the Bank, John Morrison's in it, and that was one man who I thought was in it. The four men I thought from Raw was this. I thought it would be Damian Priest, John Morrison, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre. Okay? Now, obviously, I did not say that in how I'm predicting the contestants I chose for Money in the Bank. Obviously, how I'm predicting is different. How I'm predicting, Again, those were just different different, ways, especially with the universe I'm in, But I don't think Drew McIntyre is going to get in there anymore because we already filled the spot up. Randy Orton has a chance to get in there. John Morrison's already in there. Damian Priest is not going to get in there because they're not using Damian Priest. What the fuck? Where is he? So for the men's on Raws, it's going to be Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle, and Randy Orton. And then whoever's on SmackDown. Who I think it should be Cesaro, Seth Rollins, Big E, and Baron Corbin. WWE could do something else. For the women's, of course, we already know Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Asuka, and Naomi. For SmackDown, two people I think will be in this is Carmella and Liv Morgan. I don't know about the other two spots. We could debut WWE could debut Mia Yim. I'd be perfectly fine with that. You want to debut Mia Yim? Go right ahead. Perfectly fine. Hell, unless Sasha Banks comes back, if Sasha Banks does come back, we could just see a rematch with them, or we can get a triple threat match. But again, I really think that maybe we could just put the boss in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't know what will happen, but we're gonna get probably another SmackDown Women's Championship match, or they can hold it off. I know we're not gonna get a Tag Team Championship match from SmackDown. We're gonna get a Universal Championship match from SmackDown. Don't know about the Intercontinental Championship, but the U.S. title needs something too. I don't know. But that really brings us to Raw, the end of Raw. And matches set for Money in the Bank, I will get to there. But I did talk about who was in it. But now we're down to some business when we talk about NXT. And God, we didn't really see much of Samoa Joe, but we did see a couple of bits with Samoa Joe. But let's start here. I think I spelled his name wrong, if I'm correct. Let me just check if I did. I'm gonna edit this. If I can edit. Yeah, did I spell his name wrong? Yes, I did. My bad. I'll fix it right now. I'm just looking at the name here. Okay. Fix the description. So we got a little flash from the past. Adam Cole came out. Adam Cole, baby. Okay. Steal one of his little things. I know he hates when people steal his shit. But he wasn't deciding on who he was gonna face. But then NXT took it to a whole nother level, because then we got a little flash from the past, if you know what I mean by this. You guys remember Kurt Angle, how he came out, made a whole spiel, and then John Cena, debut of John Cena came out, and he made a remark of, who he was. But Kurt Angle asked, "Who are you? Who the hell are you?" "I'm John Cena. And what makes you think you can beat me?" 2 words. Ruthless aggression. I love that moment. It will always be a part of it. And that's what Carmelo Hayes did. And he said, I don't know, there's 2 words. I don't know how to say it. Ruthless aggression. He threw the mic to the ref and slapped Adam Cole in the face, starting up a little brawl. And I love the opening of it. It was fantastic. If you remember it, I remember it. Everybody loves it. You gotta love it. And the outcome was exactly the same. In this fight, Carmelo Hayes is the John Cena. Adam Cole is the Kurt Angle. And Adam Cole did defeat Carmelo Hayes. But you shouldn't be upset about that, because this is a star for Carmelo Hayes, who actually could be another top star in NXT. They're trying to make this guy like John Cena. And a lot of people were talking about, I was looking at Adam Cole's theme song. I just want to make this clarify. His theme song is a mix of Attitude Era mixed with Chris Jericho's opening of Break the Walls Down. Come on. I know you gotcha. Yeah. But he doesn't do, if you just go listen to it and you'll hear it in the beginning. And I know where it was from. So it's again, Attitude Era mixed with Chris Jericho's Break the Walls Down theme song. It's the beat of Chris Jericho's theme song, and then kind of like Adam Cole's Undisputed Era. But anyway, Adam Cole did pick up the win after hitting a nasty super kick with the Panama Sunrise. Nasty one, especially with it, and you had Adam Cole pick up the victory, so this was pretty good. Then we had Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory come out and talk about the champion. How, He should be next in line. But then, shocking, I thought the champion was going to come out of how it went down. But then we got Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. They came out. They confronted Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory, and Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano didn't want any part of it. They were natural civilians, didn't want to fight anybody. They walked out, but before we left, Austin Theory obviously fired up after, what, of course, Pete Dunne said. Can't believe I was still trying to think of his name. Austin Theory said he's watching Pete Dunne, but Pete Dunne grabbed his fingers and snapped it. They went to the office of William Regal as nice people knocking on the door. They came in, they weren't busy. And then William Regal did the smart thing of, well, put respect on my name, since you guys have been rudely coming in here asking for whatever. Obviously, did knock on the door. Doesn't matter. You guys are going to be in the match with Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. Sure, and everybody, my God, when we get to that part, everybody was fired up and behind Mr. Johnny Wrestling. We got to our tag team match between Io Shirai, Zoe Stark against the Robert Stone brand, and that was Aaliyah and Jesse something. I do not know the name, but they had a great tag team match, and I really think Io Shirai and Zoe Stark will be taking on, at Great American Bash, will be taking on Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Hartwell, did you say? Yeah, Hartwell. Indy Hartwell. Because the whole story was set around Io Shirai, Poppy, Indy. So, I don't know. I was so happy when I heard Io's theme song. I was just vibing to it because her theme song is just so freaking awesome. But then Candice LeRae and Indy came out, and we saw a bunch of chaos. We saw after, of course, Io and Zoe defeated Aaliyah, and I have their name here, Jesse Carmia. I think I'm botching it. Carmia. We saw Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell come out, but then we saw the NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, and then we saw Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon join in, and they got their hands on each other, and they just went at it. All this chaos. Samoa Joe, obviously, he is not a female, so he cannot, but if he had Shayna Baszler come in, she could probably, lock in some clutches here and there if provoked, because both of them are pretty, I think that's what should happen. Imagine this. We have a men and woman enforcer. So if we break up Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, we can keep Nia Jax on Raw. We could take Shayna Baszler, put her on NXT, and have her be an enforcer with Samoa Joe, both having the same move, same finisher, same submission move to knock people out. That would be insane. If you know Shayna Baszler too, Shayna Baszler's her job would be pretty fucking cool too. She's a woman enforcer. She'll enforce the women's division because she can put her hands on the women. Samoa Joe can't. So Samoa Joe can introduce another enforcer, that William Regal, for the women's division. So the women will be out of control. Samoa Joe instead, since he's not a woman, he brought security out to make the whole thing stop. And we saw a little bit of this last week. So Samoa Joe is making sure everybody respects William Regal. Nobody's in chaos, so he doesn't lose his temper, so William Regal doesn't die of a heart attack. Anyway, let's move on to this freaking tag team match between The Way, Pete Dunne, and Oney Lorcan. Anyway, Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan did not come up with the victory. It was The Way, Johnny Gargano. People were behind him. He was all fired up. He was going at it. All this. Gargano spiked Oney with one final beat DDT just to get the damn victory. And everybody was behind Gargano, surprisingly. So maybe at a Great American Bash, if we get it, Gargano might just take on Mr. Karrion Kross. That'd be exciting. That'd be exciting to see. Then we got Alexandra Lopez against Frankie Mornett. And Frankie Mornett came out with a victory using Beth Phoenix's Glam Slam. And that is great. That is great. I love Frankie Monette, and I can't wait to see what she's got in store. Johnny Mundo, Johnny, Johnny, no, not Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Drip Drip, John Morrison, your wife is crazy. She's an amazing wrestler, and yes, if you did not know, John Morrison and Frankie Monette, or well, Tyron, I don't know her real name, but they are married. So Frankie Monette, John Morrison, yes, they're a couple. So obviously, it's great to have her in the WWE. Thank you. She's great. Before we get on to this next match, we do have to cut to the back, and we did see an interview with our North American champion, Bronson Reed. And surprisingly, we got Swerve Scott and his crew hit Row. Looking at that championship, looking at him, saying some crazy shit. And how, of course, they probably, Isaiah Swerve Scott could just get an opportunity at that North American Championship. Who knows? Anything can really happen. But we're not there yet, because we need to have Santos Escobar. We could have him likely go up against Swerve Scott, and the winner will take on Bronson Reed. I want to go with Santos Escobar because he has been liking my comments on Twitter. Gracias. It is so nice to see that he's, there. And I obviously write in Spanish to know that I'm also obviously Spanish, So I do like the fact that Santos Escobar is on Twitter, liking comments, doing all this retweeting. I like it. It's so good. All about the positivity, baby, But we did get to see Hit Row versus Ever Rise, and Hit Row dropped the mic on Ever Rise after hitting a double team power bomb into a neck breaker. It was so decent. 1, 2, 3. Hit Row defeats Ever Rise. Now we got to talk about this big match between Kyle O'Reilly and the NXT Cruiserweight champion, Kushida. Kyle O'Reilly did defeat Kushida in this match, but it was such a decent match. I had to go watch it for myself, and it was so decent. They were going back and forth, submission moves, Again, Kyle O'Reilly, kickboxing combat, type, KO combat. Go follow him on Twitter. He's pretty cool. But I can just see him going to the WWE and being Kevin Owens versus Kyle O'Reilly, KO versus KO, and how great of a match that would be. Unless WWE's already done it. But we can only imagine. Anyway, Kyle O'Reilly is so good. He's tapped into that energy. He's tapped into his own wrestler. So he is his own man. He's his own guy. It's sick. It's amazing. I love it. Keep doing it. For Kushida, he was putting on a phenomenal performance. He was making everything so exciting. He wanted to face the best of the best. And yes, these two men are the best of the best. It was so great. I loved it every minute, every second, every dying moment. But towards the end, Kyle O'Reilly did pick up a victory over Kushida. I think with a little roll-up, I think it was. But they showed mutual respect. But before an attack could happen, Kyle O'Reilly pushes Kushida out of the way to prevent an attack that could have been devastating to both of them. Because Adam Cole could have pushed Kushida into Kyle O'Reilly, but Kyle O'Reilly pushed Kushida out of the way to attack his former friend, both best friends too. Like I know their matches back in the days. So Kyle O'Reilly is going to fight Adam Cole at a Great American Bash in 2 weeks. But they brought on the outside, and as that was happening, we got hooded figures coming into the ring and destroying Kushida. Just to find out the hooded figure was actually Roderick Strong and his crew, Diamond Mind. And oh my god, he got a new haircut. Oh my god, what the fuck? The last time we saw Roderick Strong, he quit. He didn't want to be a part of NXT, but now he's a part of Diamond Mind with Malcom Bivens. Up, down, down. Coined that, so shout out to them. But Yes, Malcolm Bivens came out with Tyler Rust and another man. And we could see if Roderick Strong is a cruiserweight, which I think he is. He might just be a heavyweight. But if Roderick Strong has lost some weight and actually, is a cruiserweight, we just could see Kushida take on Roderick Strong for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. So I don't know, but that is a decent way. But also forgot to mention that Samoa Joe and his obviously team of security came out to try to stop Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole from brawling, but they continued to brawl even when they got out of the, arena. They were obviously on the outside with, everything was. But then when the 100 figures came in and attacked Kushida. So really, the end of the show with Roderick Strong, Malcolm Bivens, Tyler Russ, and another man just there, Diamond Mind, standing there. It's just, something's got to give. Something could happen next week on NXT. I was so ready for NXT, tuned in to see what could happen because of last week with Samoa Joe and all that. I loved it. And this week was no different. It was still the same. So great. Something I did forget to mention on Raw was that there was no rematches. None from last week on Raw. None. So good start. Good start, WWE. Keep it up. Don't do any more rematches. You can do the triple threat match, but do not do any more rematches. Okay? You're obviously going to have a rematch from 2 weeks ago, which was Elias and Rikers in a strap match. But no more. No more rematches. No more. Don't be doing that shit. Don't be doing that shit. Please. We don't like it. Anyway, we still got to find out about SmackDown. Talking Legend Podcast will be on Saturday. But I did come here to talk about some other things. Okay? The matches for Money in the Bank and a match set for Great American Bash. So, that was NXT. That was Raw NXT review. Now I'm here to talk about some of the matches for what we got for Money in the Bank and Great American Bash. Well, we just got 2 matches for Great American Bash, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. But we're going to get we're going to get 2 more matches for Great American Bash. Because obviously you know the one, but we just got an update that we will have MKS take on Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I'm excited for that. I can't wait 2 weeks. I need to see it now. It needs to happen. But in the meantime, you could do single matches between them. Do Timothy Thatcher versus Wesley, or you could do Nash Carter versus Tommaso Ciampa. You could do something there, But then next week, we're going to get a triple threat tag team match. It's going to be Blackheart and Moon versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai versus what were the other women who were in the tag team match? The Robert Stone brand. And my prediction will be, or not the Robert Stone brand, Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. My bad. My mistake. They will not be in. No. So my prediction is Io Shirai and Zoe Stark because they've already had a feud. And plus, we need to do Shotzi Blackheart versus Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. So there's that out of the way. But the winners of that triple threat tag team match will get to be in the tag team title match at a Great American Bash. At this point, for the Money in the Bank, again, Ricochet, John Morrison, and Riddle are in. We still have 5 more men to join in on that men's. For the women's, we got Naomi, Asuka, Nikki Cross, and Alexa Bliss. So we still need to find out the 4 from SmackDown. But this is pretty great. The other matches we have here are Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. You also have the Raw Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. I'm not going to shed my predictions yet, but I could say the 2 women who I'm going for, because I have to pick 2 women from, or I have to pick, I'm doing 2 women from Raw and 2 women from SmackDown. Well, out of these women, there are 2 women who I think will win. One, I'll go Asuka. I'll go Asuka for Raw. The other woman is Alexa Bliss. I'm sorry that I'm not going Nikki or Naomi. Of course, Naomi deserves better. She should win this. Naomi should win this Money in the Bank ladder match. So that's the person who I hope should win the Money in the Bank ladder match. But my 2 women right now, it'll probably change when I get to the Money in the Bank predictions video or live stream. It's Asuka and Alexa Bliss for right now. The other women from that briefcase, she should win it. Everybody wants it. I'm behind it. I'm behind the idea. So tell me in the comments down below who you think should win the Money in the Bank ladder match when we get all the members in there. And I will discuss all the members who will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. But for the men's, of course, I think I'm going to have to go with RK Bro for my pick for the men's. If Randy Orton does get in there, and it's the only one that makes sense to me. Because Drew McIntyre could feud with Jinder. AJ Styles and Almas have their tag team title match with the Viking Raiders. So Randy Orton's the only option. Be a nice win for Randy Orton, especially with Riddle. Riddle will be celebrating, I'll be happy, but Randy could just not get in my way. So who knows? Who really knows? Plus, you could get one-on-one matches. You could have Riddle versus Ricochet, Morrison versus Orton again, or you can do Orton versus Ricochet, Riddle versus Morrison. Many matches you could do, but I don't see RK Bro winning it. But again, they're still my picks. I have to pick 2 people, but I can see that happening. John Morrison ain't going to win it because John Morrison will get screwed over by The Miz when he's healed up. Great. That's Money in the Bank. That was obviously that. Ruthless Aggression surprised me. Like, I loved it. I loved it when I watched it for the first time, when I watched John Cena and Kurt Angle, when he said, Ruthless Aggression. I felt that energy. I felt it in the slap to the face. I just loved it. I loved all of it. And to see it again in 2021, big surprise to me. So really good job on that. Nothing much here. This is actually pretty short one. I'd probably go for like an hour long, but this is pretty short. Of course, I covered everything that I could. I can't wait to see what they do next week on Raw. I can't wait to see what they do next week on NXT. I can't wait for SmackDown this week. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's it. Talking Logic podcast will be on Saturday. So yeah, I guess that covers. I guess that's it. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Talking Logic podcast will be on Saturday, 8 a.m. I know this one started a little bit late because obviously I wasn't, I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared for 8 o'clock, but I still gave you it. I still filled you on what happened at Raw, what happened at NXT, Raw's decency in the match. Keep it up, Raw. Keep it up. Don't do rematches. Try not to overuse the most devastating move of all sports entertainment, surprise roll up. If you guys want to know the ups and downs, it's down in the description below. Okay? From what culture. If you guys missed last week's Raw and NXT review, it's down in the description below. And if you guys want to see me how I'm going to be predicting Money in the Bank, it's down in the description below. Anyway, that's this wraps up the whole review. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a like. Hell, don't even forget to comment down. Don't forget to comment down below and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream from the Logical Predictor, myself. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of this week.